What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp. Welcome to Fightful. It is June 30th, 2025. This is your WWE Raw post-show remarkably early. The older I get, the more thankful I am that this regime of WWE and really AEW in a couple weeks too are like, yeah, let's do some early evening, maybe some afternoon wrestling if it's overseas, all that. We had a 6 p.m. Eastern Monday Night Raw. They are filming SmackDown immediately following. The reason for that is because the 4th of July is Friday. So the WWE staff is going to have the night off. Also, FightfulSelect.com, you boys. It's just $5.99 a month. Please subscribe. But we had a free update today that also mentioned that the SmackDown roster is going to get a little bit extra time as a result of them having to go over 4 SmackDown and then stay on the road through Raw. They will have this Friday off, and they'll have basically a week and a half off. The rest of the roster gets pretty well a week off, but they are filming SmackDown right now. We had a spoiler on FightfulSelect.com for a big program for Evolution that was pitched, and somebody who is rumored to be there. Please subscribe to FightfulSelect.com, the best $5.99 a month in the business. How about this? On Tuesday, we will have updates on WWE's future in Saudi Arabia and their immediate future, honestly. We had the Q&A podcast today. I also recap all the news for the week. But it's not just that. Sometimes I'll have you guys say, well, why don't you all cover MLW or GCW or these indies? We do. Steven Jensen does on the Weekender show. One of the many wonderful benefits of FightfulSelect.com. But by God, you guys are here right now. So let's talk WWE Raw. Thumbs up, drop some fruit emojis. We would greatly appreciate you guys if you did that. Somebody says new camera, no new angle. I used to have it on top of my monitor. I just lowered it a little bit. I'm going to play around with different angles and different stuff. I've got the studio set up over there. Lots of cool stuff. But let's talk about WWE Monday Night Raw. Leave a thumbs up. Drop those fruit emojis. Remember, we are on podcast platforms everywhere. It's not just YouTube. But if you are here on youtube.com/Fightful, send in your super chat. Send in your humper chats. Our great moderator, Luis, who runs our Fightful Espanol platforms, will collect those. Here's a little fun one for those of you who speak Espanol. Facebook and Instagram, our Espanol accounts will be breaking news tomorrow. Again, it is free. Our Espanol scoops are free. By that, I mean like anything lucha related, we will break over there. Then we'll have it up for English language speakers a little bit later on. But if you speak Espanol, support our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. I know it's 8:32 p.m. Eastern. I love it, man. Like I really, really enjoy the fact that we can have like early evening wrestling. And because of the Netflix deal, they're like, yeah, sure, do it. I really love the fact that I am going to Texas next week. And this show is going to be like mid-afternoon. Give me that, man. Give me that. Like, I spent so many years covering MMA as a full-time job. And I often say this. We complain when like an AEW show has 13, 14 matches, right? And it's 5 hours plus the post show. We used to complain when WrestleMania was like 8 hours long. That's every weekend in the UFC. Plus, it starts late because it's on the West Coast. And then you're up waiting on Dana White to get done doing whatever he's doing. I do not miss those days one bit. I really like a good, crisp 2.5 to 3 hour show than getting on here and talking to you guys. Very, very excited to be doing that. Very excited. But by the way, super chats here on youtube.com/Fightful, but many of you are watching on Twitter, on Twitch, on Facebook at facebook.com/Fightful online. You can send humper chats. That's HUMPER chats.com. Erwin says, am I crazy or was there no interference today? WWE sometimes gets a real like Here, damn, attitude, like with Evolution. But it was really nice to have a bunch of matches that didn't have interference on the show. Now, they shouldn't be sarcastically applauded for that. It should be the standard sometimes. It shouldn't be the rarity. It should happen a lot more. Jay Miller says, do we know Nikki's plans at Evolution, whether it was a tag or a singles with Liv? Based on the matches booked tonight, I assume Nikki is used in the Battle Royal. Well, I believe it was planned for something with Brie Bella. I'm going to follow up on it. The teams, we'll talk about the teams a little bit later on. But we kicked off this show with Rhea Ripley coming out. She says that she believes that she's done with the Judgment Day finally, and she's ready to move on. And it's like, what's next for Rhea Ripley? I love that the champion is like, no, I'm next. I want to become the greatest champion in WWE history. I understand that I've got Mount Rushmores to climb right now. You gotta pass Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair and Bayley and all these people. Io Sky's character understands that she's got to overcome all that and beat all that. And Rhea Ripley, like I think the last singles match she won before Raquel was the Money in the Bank qualifier. I don't think she's taken pins, though. So we're looking at her largely in a singles capacity. She's winning these matches. I know that she and Io even had the double DQ, but she didn't take the pin at WrestleMania either. She beat Roxanne in a match where she should have gotten the pin and all that stuff. But like, she's protected as she should be. I saw a lot of people online, and it's so frustrating to see this, man. It is so annoying to watch this unfold so often. But like, every time somebody gets a push, it's, oh, well, there's Mercedes Hogan, there's Rhea Hogan, there's so-and-so Hogan. Let me make something clear. Hulk Hogan had a creative control clause in his contract of which he contractually changed finishes and said, that doesn't work for me, brother, and wouldn't put so many people over, wouldn't put Randy Orton over, wouldn't put Shawn Michaels over. Didn't do it. You want to talk about Hulk Hogan. Let's talk about Hulk Hogan. Let's pull him up. Let's pull up Hulk Hogan so we can really look and see how his WWE run ended. His WWE run ended defeating Randy Orton, defeating Shawn Michaels, defeating Kurt Angle by DQ. Him and Shawn Michaels beating Carlito and Kurt Angle. Him winning a 6-man tag team match. Him and Shawn Michaels coming back and beating Daivari and Muhammad Hassan. That's how his run in. And by the way, outside of like his Mr. America run, like, dude was winning a lot. Not the same. But Io Sky wants this match. And I'm down for it. Great match to add to Evolution. We also saw later on something that my Twitter subscribers saw as well. I heard they were very pumped about this Kairi Sane vignette. Is it the Sky Pirate? What do they call it? What was the terminology used? But either way, they used a lot of green screen stuff. It was very cool. I really liked that. And you got to kind of reinvest in Kairi Sane now. After Damage Control effectively ended, and the Pirate Princess, yes. They effectively ended that. She beat, I know nobody else watches Main Event, but she beat Ivy Nile, fun match on Main Event. She had the unfortunate ending with Liv Morgan. She beat Raquel. She beat Liv before that. I mean, hear me out. If you give Kairi Sane one more win, I say give her a title match on Raw on something. Like, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Make all the sense in the world to me. Beating Liv twice, beating Raquel, beating Ivy, and then you beat one more person. Don't care who. Wins matter to me, man. I love it. I think she got pinned in the Queen of the Ring 4-way, but it's a little bit different. But I'd be all for it. All for it. Crush says, when do you think Roman returns and who does he face at SummerSlam? My gosh. Let me look at the event schedule. Probably Rollins, I would imagine. They'll go into that one-on-one. But like Roman, as soon as he went through that barricade, it was very much a, all right, I'll see you when I see you type of thing, right? Listen, I'm not making a prediction on that. But I could see Houston, Texas at the Toyota Center being a good one, or Birmingham the week before. I don't think he'll have you don't got to build a whole lot for him, right? Like, you got to build a whole lot. Why only Triple H and fitting at the end credits and not everyone? I will ask about this. But Rhapsody loves the Credit Boys reference. By the way, somebody's asking where Stephanie Becker is. She said that she was undergoing some knee maintenance or something. That was it. She said her knee was fine, just getting some maintenance. I'll follow up on that. But Rhea, Io, I really like this one. Really like this one. Also, Stephanie's going to be in the Battle Royal. She was at the show and did a thing with Byron Saxton. And I know that because I've got nordvpn.com/Fightful. You might say, Sean, wait. I didn't see her. I didn't see her, by God. Well, that's because you need nordvpn.com/Fightful. You can watch that Netflix feed. You can watch how the Netflix feed went out on Friday. You might say, Sean, wait, what do you mean Friday? SmackDown's on the USA Network, not Netflix. Well, if you get nordvpn.com/Fightful, you can watch SmackDown on Netflix and NXT and this past weekend's PLE. All that on one subscription. Just change your virtual location. It is so easy. Right now, they have a great deal where you can get an Amazon gift card. Anybody who's got NordVPN, hit us up in the chat. Let us know. I'm not kidding. This is a phenomenal deal. 4 extra months and an exclusive deal. And even if you're like, I don't know if I'll like it, 30-day money back guarantee. When Raw went to Netflix, I was like, how useful will this be for our audience? As it turns out, more useful than ever, because you don't have to have all these other services as well. But hey, it doesn't end there, my friends. Change your virtual location. Listen to your favorites abroad. Shield your data from snoops and criminals. There's a full list of wonderful features on nordvpn.com/Fightful. Works on all your devices, all your operating systems. But next week's all in. If you don't want to pay $40 for it, get that NordVPN. It's like a couple bucks a month, $2 or $3 a month at the lowest tier. Change your virtual location. Then log into your Triller, into your payperview.com, anything like that, and get it for like half the price. A must-have for wrestling fans. Listen, I did that this weekend for the UFC 317 show as well. Ain't paying that $80, my friend. Ain't doing it. Not me. Not this guy right here. nordvpn.com/Fightful. I truly love that NordVPN has saved so much money for so many of our wonderful viewers. AJ Styles is backstage with Dominic. He's got those glasses on too, and he wants his title shot. He wants his title shot. And Dominic's like, listen, no, I'm still not cleared. I had a setback. I've got a doctor's note. Not only do I have a doctor's note, Adam Pearce has signed it. And if you touch me, you don't get a title shot. I think he even said MC Hammer can't touch this. Dominic Mysterio is incredible. This guy rules. I wish I would have known how easy it was to forge doctor's notes in high school, middle school. That would have been very useful. That would have been great. Too little, too late. Something tells me Dominic knew, though. I get the feeling that Dominic knew, right? Well, Judgment Day regained some gold. They defeated New Day in a phenomenal tag team match. No pun intended from the previous interaction. Xavier in trunks, driving the ladies on Twitter wild, and some of the men. Different. You don't realize how long somebody has been wrestling in the same kind of gear until they switch it up. Like, I guess you didn't realize how rarely Karrion Kross wore BDSM bondage gear until he started, right? You're like, damn, he doesn't do that a whole lot. I'll be that was a Demolition thing. I saw that Demolition are selling like replica tag belts with the bondage over them soon. Interesting. This was an incredible tag team match. And unfortunately, so many times when I see these unbelievably good tag team matches, it is one of those things that I look at and I go, oh man, I love that match. It was incredible. It was way better than I even could have imagined. I imagined it was going to be pretty good. Then you think about the state of the division and you think about how nobody gets pushed. Unfortunately, FightfulSelect.com this weekend reported that Otis had to undergo an elbow scope. He's going to miss a little bit of time. We see Chad Gable is out. There's a lot of talent that it's banged up and all that, but they don't book this tag team division well, despite the really, really great talent they have in it. So Pretty Deadly on SmackDown, also injured, but like they have a fantastic tag team division. However, when all of your skits are just these same things, the interrupting promos and all that stuff, you've got to give these teams the opportunity to play off of one another. Edge and Christian got over because they had the opportunity to play off of each other. How did APA get really over? The Acolytes were fine, but they got over as the APA. They got to play off of each other. How did the Dudleys get over? They had a thing. They had something. The Nasty Boys had like such a different look than everybody else. IRS and Ted DiBiase, they could play off of one another. These teams got over as a result of that. You have Judgment Day, the Creeds, the Alphas, A-Town Down Under, who they're playing off of each other is like them not doing anything. You got LWO, and listen, I know that Ray and Dragon Lee would be a great addition, but also you got to highlight some personality. You got the War Raiders, you got New Catch Republic, who are barely used. These teams are hardly ever used. Over on SmackDown, you got Bloodline combos, you got DIY, Fraxium, Legato, Motor City, Pretty Deadly, Street Profits. You got a lot of teams over there. The Wyatts. You got to highlight the characters. JD McDonough is quickly becoming one of the best tag team wrestlers in the world. One of the best. He is such a complete in-ring tag team performer. He sells incredibly. His offense is good. It is he is incredible. He has been a real glue of this division. Some spots I loved in this match. Xavier countering the corner move with that stomp. It was fantastic. JD with a beautiful Asai moonsault, and then he goes for it one too many times and eats a boot. Does the Spanish Fly. There was the breakup of the Midnight Hour, and Judgment Day was starting to get a babyface reaction. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't think they're all going babyface. But I loved, as Code points out, that's our dude Terry Allen says, enjoyed the bout with the villains versus villains dynamic tag match. Curious if wrestling attempting villain versus villain stories could it gain attention? Well, I think that it could specifically gain attraction, Terry Allen Jr., because so many of the heels in pro wrestling today, you often hear about it, and it has been this way for like 30 years, are cool and fun to cheer, right? And the crowd definitely got behind Judgment Day. And that leads me to my next point. They traded cheap shots and Judgment Day won. I love that. But what I don't love is how WWE fumbled one of the greatest turns I've seen. And they've done it twice in a year now. Think about the turns we saw at a Judgment Day and John Cena, and think about the follow-up. When you do something like that, you have to have a what is next. They never really had a what is next for Judgment Day, or for New Day, rather. Never had that real follow-up after the incredible heat that they got from Big E. And it was just a way to turn them heel and not really put any juice into the tag team division. The tag team divisions that I grew up on, like you can't tell me the in-ring talent isn't there. But like, I grew up as a very, very little kid and watching back the tapes and all that stuff. But it's like Demolition, Nasty Boys, Rockers, Heart Foundation, into like even Money Inc., Nasty Boys, Natural Disasters, colorful characters. And then around the turn of the century, you had the APA, you had Too Cool, Edge and Christian, Hardys, Dudleys. You had some really, really good, fun characters to play off of. You have to highlight the personalities if you want people to care. Alejandro says, SRS 2K owes us a character. Any updates? I will ask. I've got asked about this on my Q&A show, FightfulSelect.com. Please subscribe. Don't have an answer for that yet. Brandon says, do you think Dom will lose the IC belt? So him and Liv will be titleless. Hope not. I'm sick of the whole Liv Dom thing. My hope is that Liv returns to TV and she sees that Dom was actually loyal to her and that he had pause. He learned from his mistakes from Rhea Ripley. He learned that he didn't do that right. Because I think that a Dominic babyface run is absolutely something that should happen. But I thought that the wheels were going to be in motion already. And I don't know if Liv's injury caused like pause on that, right? But I think that Dom as a babyface has got real legs and got something special that they can do. So backstage, Finn Balor and JD approach Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis about the tag team title situation for the women. Liv Morgan is injured. I'll let you know what happened and then where I stand. They said you should just let Roxanne be the partner. They talk about it and they say, yeah, but at Evolution, they are going to defend, they being Raquel and Roxanne, against a team from Raw, who I presume will probably be Natty and Maxine, because who else would it be? A team from SmackDown, and let's see who the hell even is a team on SmackDown. Let's take a look here. The Secret Hervis, maybe. That's about it. And a team from NXT, which I assume will be Sol Ruka and Zarya. B-Fab and Michin. That would be good as well. That's, you know, I see Alexa and Charlotte mentioned as well, but they're not officially a team or anything. If I were B-Fab and Michin, I'd be pissed. If I were the Secret Hervis, I'd be pissed, right? But like, I was not in the boat that I saw so many say, and they're like, vacate the titles. No, no, absolutely not. I disagree. That is a golden ticket to make sense of your brand split that you already don't make sense of. It is a way to give people something to do. Just book it better. Now, I will say, AEW learned from their criticisms. I'm okay with the Freebird rule. I don't have a damn problem with it. I like the Freebird rule. I think there's a million different ways. You could say, well, Raquel can defend them herself until she loses to a tag team. She should have that option, right? I don't think a tag team should ever be stripped of the tag titles because of that. They should have the option to be defended as a solo at the very least. But this specific situation made a lot of sense because it got Roxanne into Judgment Day, which there was some pause on Dominic and Raquel's part, but she's a member now. Things still going 3+ years strong. But I actually like the more recent AEW method that they did with the Death Riders and the Trios title. When Pac got hurt, they had Jon Moxley slide in. But they said Jon Moxley is not the Trios champion unless he can successfully defend the title against the Ops. He didn't, so therefore he never technically was. Like, you have to defend it with your team to win it yourself. And I really like that. That's something that AEW higher ups clarified with me specifically. And they're like, yeah, we probably should have done that the last time, but we heard the criticism. And that's the method that's going now. Joseph Morris says, do you think Liv appearing on TV in a non-wrestling role helps her mental health? Does it mean she could help the product? Well, I don't want to speculate on her mental health regardless. That's no offense, Joseph Morris. That's not any of my business. I just want her in. I would love to see her on TV because I think she's very useful. And I think that her in a babyface role as a manager with Dominic would actually be very good. And where Raquel is like, you know what? Roxanne did more for me than you ever did, etc. I think you could play off that very well. Bronson Reed had a Jurassic World Rebirth ad. Interesting spokesman for that. But hey, good for him. Good for him. Oh, boy. So, unfortunately, Chad Gable is getting shoulder surgery. He's going to miss quite a long time. FightfulSelect.com, best $5.99 a month in the business, reported that he is out likely until the end of the year. We also reported that El Grande Americano is also injured, but anything is possible. We see Ludwig Kaiser lurking in the back. And then we see American Made speaking. And hopefully they get the opportunity to have their characters play off of each other because they're all very entertaining and colorful and funny. And that's what you want to see. But Ivy says, well, I'm getting in this battle royal. What battle royal, you ask? Well, to honor the tradition of evolution, as opposed to it just being a thing they threw a bunch of people in. It is a battle royal, and the winner gets a shot at Clash in Paris. So I dig this. I'm okay with this. I don't mind it one bit. Biologically, it's more difficult for women to do battle royals because ropes are higher on them than men, but I dig it. I'm all for it because these battle royals mean as much as you tell us that they mean. And I said that about the Andre as well. I've said that I wish they would bring back the Andre night one of the WrestleMania kickoff and then do the Sensational Invitational night 2 and make it the Sensational Sherry Battle Royal, a Memorial Battle Royal, and do it for something. Make it mean something because, again, it means as much as you tell us it means because wrestling isn't real. How many times have they tried to make it seem to us like the U.S. title or the IC title is the top prize on the brand because Roman or Brock or whoever went home for however long they went home? And that's what you had. So I like that they're doing this battle royal. They're doing it for Clash in Paris. Good. Add some stakes to it. All about it. All about it. And then Ludwig Kaiser in the El Grande Americano outfit shows up. And I know a lot of people feel a lot of ways about the El Grande Americano outfit. I'm just glad this dude is going to be on TV. Now, hold on. Let's switch up the fake Mexican luchador with another non-Mexican luchador. Now, to be clear, I don't think he was ever claiming to be from Mexico, was he? He was claiming to being from the Gulf of Mexico / America. But, like, you don't have to be a Mexican wrestler to wear a mask and do that. But, like, the El Grande Americano thing, like, I get what you're saying. I for sure do. But, like, you don't have to be a Mexican man to be a luchador in that sense, or even of descent. So I'm just glad Ludwig's on TV. But yeah, sucks that it took this to do it. Rusev and Sheamus, they beat the dog out of each other. Beat the brakes off each other. It was very slow at first. A lot of rest holds that honestly you do not see on WWE TV these days. You just do not see a lot of that stuff. And I liked it because when they came back from the break, Michael Cole was like, this is the pace that we expected. And I was like, slow. Then they started to beat the tar out of each other. I don't know how much more analysis I can give it. They were big, sweaty, meaty dudes just beating the crap out of each other. Fox Media saying, Sean saying that like he has a mask match out there. I wrestled, I think 3 or 4 matches in a mask. Not the same mask. I'd be open to doing it again in the future. Like I thought about it just so I could go out and do some wrestling and not be put under a damn microscope, to be honest with you. I've long been open to doing that because I just like to wrestle. I enjoy it. It's fun for me. But man, if I wrestle, I have to meticulously plan everything because of the weirdest people online. Put everything under a magnifying glass. I didn't even mess up any of the spots in my last run, and people were just saying all kinds of wild stuff, man. But they just beat the crap out of each other. Did Rusev and Sheamus. And I know that best of 7 is the natural course of action that a lot of people are assuming. And then it goes the way of the bar. I would be fine with that because it doesn't appear to me like they have any top title programs for Rusev, right? But like these two are sirloin beef sons of bitches. And I think that they could have a really great tag team where the tag team is founded on they one up each other and how bad they hurt other people. I've always thought that's a really, really good idea for a tag team. It's like they're in competition with each other instead of with the other team, because the other team is barely competition. Barely competition at that stage. And I mean, they've got so much history that it's insane to play off of. The League of Nations, all that. But like, I'm looking. Andrew Phillips says first time ever, Sheamus versus Rusev. It's not the first time. I can pull it up right now. They wrestled, let's see here, 1-on-1 on TV. How about this one? Over a decade ago, they did a U.S. title match. And then a week later, they had a 15-minute match that ended in a count out for the U.S. title on Raw as well in the U.K. So very rarely. These are a couple guys you would have assumed would have faced each other like a long time or for many times, right? But I mean, honestly, back like 10 years ago, we did not get like really, really good. We didn't get the big, meaty sirloin beef sons of bitches matches that we deserved, right? We didn't get that. They were really slow plotting Vince McMahon special matches, like put on your chin lock, buddy. That type of thing. That's what we got then. But listen, if you feel like you need to be a little bit meatier, if you feel like you need to slap it, you're ready to get things sweaty. Maybe your meat telescope needs to see God and wink. Blue Chew and the code Fightful. That's right, bluechew.com, the code Fightful. Enter the room, meat first. Blue Chew isn't just a tablet. It's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting. Like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. It's not just about performance. It's about that legacy, that big, fat, meaty legacy. Give her or his group chat something to talk about. You know, when you lay it down, they're going to be talking about how it gets up. Maybe she will want to do a post show when all is said and done after you use Blue Chew and the code Fightful. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little bit of Blue Chew. Discover your options at bluechew.com. And as always, we have a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use the promo code Fightful at checkout. Pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade that meat. Head to bluechew.com for details and safety info. Big thank you to them, as always. Our longest running sponsor. And again, if you want something less awkward than this ad read, you want Blue Chew. No in-person doctor's visits, no pharmacy, all done online, shipped straight to your door. Bluechew.com and the code Fightful. Rusev wins. I love the count out tease here too. I thought Rusev wasn't going to make it, by the way. Thought he wasn't going to make it. But what do you all think about a Rusev Sheamus tag team, considering I have just claimed that the tag team is booked terribly anyway? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see them in a situation where they're also not on TV, because Rusev's been brought along pretty slowly so far, right? By default, this is better than what he was doing in AEW, because he wasn't doing anything in AEW. Luis, our wonderful moderator, says, speaking of masked foreigners, hate to mention him, but Art Barr wrestled most of his career as Love Machine with the mask. Listen, Art Barr was a deplorable human being. I just want to say that. An absolutely deplorable human being, but we can mention the history of deplorable human beings and all that stuff. We're not trying to avoid him on that. He was also a fantastic performer, as much of a terrible human as he was. But yeah, he did do that. And, that was, honestly, it got him some heat as well. That it worked really well for him. He got heat in Mexico as well as anybody. Bill Goldberg video package. A reminder, guys, get in your super chats, get in your humper chats. We greatly appreciate that. We are publicly funded by you guys. Crush 316. Is this Joel Wood? Is it showing us ats instead of actual names now? What is up with YouTube? Showing us the ats instead of the names, the display names. Of the three main roster additions this year, Aleister Black, Rusev, Penta, Phoenix. Who wins the title first? Of the new ones. Oh, man. I'm going to go with Penta and Phoenix, because I think they win the tag titles. I think eventually they get put together, and that they team up, because I'm looking at the direction of Penta right now. What happened tonight? Penta lost. What happened last week? Penta lost. What happened in the King of the Ring match? Penta lost. What happened in the Money in the Bank ladder match? Penta didn't win. They have been having Penta looking at the lights since the end of May. Probably beginning of June. Beginning of June. But he's wrestled quite a bit. And then there's Phoenix. Let's look at Phoenix, because things ain't been as much better for him, have they? Let's see here. Oh no, him and Andrade won, so there's that. But he lost the match, the NXT North American title match. Lost the match against Los Garza. Lost the match against Bloodline. Lost the Money in the Bank qualifier. So outside of the Andrade match, which doesn't it seem so weird that they are like, that they seem so keen on him teaming with Andrade instead of just putting him with his brother? Why not just put him with his brother, right? Like, I understand if they want them to have some singles roles and stuff, but like, if you're going to have Rey Fenix team with somebody, do that team. Unless you are looking to make Andrade, again, more of a heel and all that stuff. Andrade's one I could see going back to AEW, honestly, despite the sucky circumstances of which he left. They thought he was going to resign, but like, I could absolutely see Andrade ending up back in AEW and hopefully being actually booked. I mean, we could see, but he's only halfway through his deal right now. But yeah. Andrea, our good friend. YouTube announced they're switching to handles for chats instead. I'm sorry. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. Oh, by the way, bi-weekly plea. Anybody that has a contact at Meta or Facebook or Instagram, hit your boy up. We're trying to get monetized on that platform. Please follow us on Instagram, on TikTok, on all that. I know I promote an awful lot of stuff, man. I know I'm plugging it all, but we would appreciate it. Bill Goldberg video package, by the way. Great video package. WWE has been really nailing it with these video packages of late. And then Gunther does an incredible promo basically calling Goldberg a scrub. And what I loved here was that he said, the promo lasted about 3 minutes, just like his matches. And I could beat him in 3 minutes, but what I want to do is drag him into deep waters and drown him. So what Goldberg wants, or what Gunther wants to do, is expose Bill Goldberg in his last match. He wants to drag him out, make him tired, embarrass him, reinforce all of the stereotypes that exist of Bill Goldberg, and wants to embarrass him on his way out. I loved it. Seth Rollins interrupts, and Gunther's ready, throwing those dukes up, and he clarifies, just so you know, I'm coming after both titles. Nobody's safe. But to be clear, I'm such a hater that I flew to Saudi Arabia on Saturday just to make sure that CM Punk didn't become world champion. I love this segment. I saw people online saying like, oh, Seth Rollins gets the same promo. I didn't think this one was the same promo. I thought it was him maybe restating his mission statement. Maybe there's that. But I didn't see like the same promo. He literally answered what it was he was doing, clarified he's still going after both titles, and then CM Punk ran him off. Then CM Punk and Gunther have a little bit of an interaction, and I loved how this branched from Gunther Goldberg to Gunther Seth, Gunther Punk. You solidified more of the Punk Rollins stuff. Then, again, Punk pushes Gunther down. Great interaction, because Gunther ain't going to let that fly, buddy. He ain't going to let that fly. Boy, they're setting the stage for a lot of interference here, too. But even though the camera missed it, it wasn't on production. It was because a fan was standing in the way. There was this great shot of LA Knight with some popcorn attacking Seth Rollins. So Fightful Select had confirmed this past week the LA Knight thing, just a storyline, not an injury. He was in creative plans. And he's still so over. And I love that this branched off there because now we got that at Saturday night's main event. LA Knight is going to be the next guy that the fans force over. I don't know to what degree, but it is clear to me that right now, as things stand, LA Knight is not factored into the championship plans for WWE. Like, I just can't possibly see it. There's a lot of other people. There's Seth Rollins, there's Sami Zayn, there's CM Punk, maybe. There's Cody Rhodes. There's a lot of people next up. Even Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu I could see as next up before. But LA Knight is so fantastic at keeping himself over. Now, there are going to be some ambitiously athletic things that he can't do as he gets older. But that trash talking ain't going anywhere. It is not eroding. It is not evaporating. It is not leaving. LA Knight stood later on face-to-face with CM Punk, and you left there thinking that the guy who cut the pipe bomb promo, the guy who cut the Be My Valentine promo, the guy who cut incredible promos in ROH was the least charismatic guy in that segment between LA Knight and CM Punk. And I love that as well. LA Knight said, when CM Punk said, get in line, LA Knight was like, listen, you can go after Seth Rollins 6 days out of the week. I don't care. But when I'm here, I am the line. Oof. That was good stuff, man. This was a really brilliantly booked segment with one of the people in absence being Bill Goldberg. And what they did was they developed a whole lot of different programs off of that, which hopefully doesn't result in all of these going into interference or something like that. Now, they did announce Survivor Series would be a war game show. And I got to be honest with you, I've got no desire to see it other war games this year. I don't. I loved the Survivor Series with stakes as well, even ones without stakes. Like, I loved the wild card. I loved the underdogs in the 95 one. But the wild card 95 was a lot of fun too. But when they had stakes, like the Bischoff Austin one, oh, the one that Ziggler, I think Ziggler won. Did he win that one? That was so good too. But Triple H is not like 7 to 8 people getting pinned. But here's where I stand on that. If you've got 10 of the best performers in the world, they're going to pin each other. If they're good, if you book well enough, they'll stay over. I don't have a great desire to watch war games anymore. This is where I stand. But I can see a lot of these gentlemen factoring into that. And I also don't like pay-per-views that are like Hell in a Cell and anything like that. I think the situation should dictate the match, not the pay-per-view should dictate the match. So, Bayley, somebody said, Sean, do you shave that part in the middle of the stash? Or does it come in like it? Why would I shave it? No, when I was young, I busted my lip on the corner of like a playpen or something. And it was open. And then, it never grew there. What a weird question. What a weird ass question. You freak. Bayley, interrupted by Lyra. Lyra's delusional here, buddy. Lyra interfered in Bayley's Intercontinental title match after Bayley got attacked and taken out of WrestleMania and replaced, and Lyra didn't think twice about it. Lyra should just leave Bayley alone. She's like, I don't even know who you are anymore. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? She ain't answered the phone after you cost her the IC title? Huh? What do you mean? I probably wouldn't want to talk to the person that cost me the IC title anyway, especially if you got a match against them. Which, by the way, was a fun match. It ended in a draw due to a double pin. But I left this thinking that the Lyra Valkyria character is delusional. Delusional. Why? Now I think they're setting up for this for Evolution or SummerSlam triple threat match for the IC title, and good. But how is Lyra not delusional or the character dumb? She just ran in and cost her friend the match. And like she acts like Bayley should just be cool with it. Bayley just missed months. And also watched Becky win the title that she was vying for before all this tag team situations existed. Ah, man. I just let this go and what the hell? Backstage, Karrion Kross attacks Sami, working on Karrion Kross updates as he is doing a new media tour. He has new merch. He's still on the show. He had a PLE match. Got his book coming out. But yeah. So Kross attacks Sami and he's saying, say you're a liar. And up until this, I was like, oh, hey, he's just trying to motivate Sami into becoming a world champion. Now I'm like, damn, dude's just got beef. So later on, Penta approaches Sami. He's like, you good? Sami's like, yeah, I'm good. Then they lose. Now, this is actually Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed's first win as a team. They first teamed up like a month ago, and they lost to Sami Zayn and Jey Uso via DQ because, you couldn't get that one a clean finish, right? Couldn't do a clean finish there. All right, man. Whatever. It's fine. It was fine. Jey Uso comes out and makes the save. It was fine. I understand why you couldn't put like the title match here. And you couldn't load up this show too much, but the show accomplished quite a bit. But also you've got 3 like PLE pay-per-view shows plus a SmackDown that they're filming right after this. We had news on a legend that they want for Evolution, by the way, on Fightful, select.com. We're going to have more details on that tonight after I presume it will happen. Let me check out the SmackDown spoilers so far, and I'll kind of give you guys an update on what's going on here. See, you had Cody Rhodes there. I would have had him make a little appearance on Raw. Okay, so how about this? This isn't too much of a spoiler. Literally, all 3 of the teams that we mentioned on SmackDown are going to compete for the opportunity to move on to Evolution. I like that. Now, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair are probably going to win that match, right? Because that's what they do. But yeah, I dig that. Oh, okay. Got a good name back for SummerSlam season. Hell yeah. Very happy to see that. There you go. My God. That should be fun. Guys, leave a thumbs up on this video. I can't tell you how important that is. So I've been telling you guys I'm going to do more Fightful Studios videos. If you all don't know what the hell that is, it's where I go right over here to the left of me, and I set up a couple cameras in my studio setup that I did to do podcasts and interviews. I've only done one interview in there, but I talked to you guys about the first one was I talked to you guys about what it was like to interview MJF. So I released one that was actually clipped from our podcast this week about CM Punk Saudi Arabia apology. If you missed that live stream, I have isolated that into a 12-minute clip that is now up. We have a new Fightful Presents video on Public Enemy's unpredictable WWF run, why it ended. I interviewed Abyss last week. I dropped my interview with Hollywood Haley J. This week, I have two more from Squared Circle Expo. Big Trouble Ben Bishop and Zoe Lucas. And if you go, who? First off, indie talent, really good indie talent. Zoe Lucas, very clearly going to end up somewhere, already working in Mexico after returning. Big Trouble Ben Bishop is such a sure thing. Looks great, can work in the ring, is a hilarious and innovative content creator. And I have said this for a long time. I think he's going to end up getting a lot of the movie roles that like Nathan Jones and Kurgan got over the last 15 years. We've got Missa Kate on Monday, I believe. Then next week, heading to Dallas, doing some interviews there as well. But we also did a bit of a Fightful Studios video with did WWE work everyone with R-Truth firing? I think the next one I'm going to do that you guys can get excited for will be what it was like to interview Bret Hart and some funny stories behind that, as well as the Hart family, because I've interviewed Bret, Diana, Natty, Davey Boy Jr., even Teddy before he went freaking bananas. My God. Yes. But Luis says, follow Fightful Espanol on Instagram and Twitter. We'll have a big one tomorrow. It's going to drop on the Espanol Instagram and Facebook first. We really want to build those. If you speak Espanol, would appreciate it. But yeah, also something that I want to, somebody says, finally, the return to the interview. That is actually such a brilliant name. Also, Fightful Scraps. I know some of you go, what the hell are Fightful Scraps? And some of you go, that's still a thing. Yes, it is. We've got, let's see how many videos. Over 2,000 clips. Over 2,000 clips from our interviews, and then links to those interviews. Please check that out. We are here every single night, by God. Until next time, we're out.